My parents stole my 150k MBA fund for my golden sister's dream house. I'm 28, and my younger sister Emma is 25. Growing up, Emma could do no wrong. She got a car at 16, I took the bus. She got a lavish sweet 16, I got dinner at Applebee's. I learned early that complaining meant I was jealous and ungrateful. When my grandfather died when I was 15, he left me 150k specifically for my education. The money went into a trust managed by my parents until I turned 25. Grandpa knew I wanted to go to business school, and he made sure I'd have that chance. My parents always assured me the money was safe and growing. I worked my butt off through undergrad, graduated with honors, and spent 3 years at a consulting firm. Last year, I got accepted into a top-tier MBA program. I was ecstatic. I reached out to my parents about accessing the trust fund. That's when my dad got weird. He kept deflecting, saying we'd talk about it later, and that there were complications. After 2 months of runarounds, I threatened legal action. That's when they finally admitted the truth. The money was gone, all of it. They'd taken it out 3 years ago to help Emma buy her dream house because she was struggling and needed family support. Emma had a decent job but wanted a house she couldn't afford in an expensive neighborhood. My parents gave her my entire inheritance as a down payment and to cover renovations. I absolutely lost it. They tried to justify it by saying Emma needed it more urgently, that I was doing fine with my job, and that family helps family. They promised they'd pay me back eventually. My mom cried and said I was tearing the family apart over money. I contacted a lawyer immediately. Turned out what they did was completely illegal since it was a designated trust. But litigation would take years and cost a fortune I didn't have. That's when Uncle Jake got involved. He's my dad's brother and had always been the black sheep because he didn't put up with my parents' favoritism. When he heard what happened, he was livid. Uncle Jake is a successful real estate investor. He sat me down and laid out a plan. He'd lend me the MBA tuition money interest-free, payable after graduation. But more importantly, he'd handle my parents. Jake called a family meeting with my grandparents' entire side of the family and exposed everything my parents had done. He brought documentation, bank statements, everything. My parents were humiliated in front of everyone. Several relatives who'd respected them were disgusted. But Jake wasn't done. He knew Emma's house had appreciated significantly. He quietly contacted Emma and made her an offer she couldn't refuse for the house, about 40% above market value. Emma jumped at it, never connecting it to the situation. The catch was Jake structured it so the closing had to happen fast. When Emma sold, Jake told my parents that Emma owed them the 150k back immediately since the loan was called. He'd already consulted with lawyers and found a way to make this legally stick based on some paperwork they'd stupidly signed. My parents had to pressure Emma to give them the money from her house sale. Jake then, magnanimously, offered to buy their house to help them through their financial troubles, but at a lowball price. They had no choice but to accept. He flipped both properties for massive profits. In the end, Jake gave me 200k. The original 150k plus 50k for the investment growth I'd missed. My parents downsized to a small condo and their reputation in the family is destroyed. Emma had to move into a modest apartment and finally realized my parents had used her too. I'm finishing my MBA now, debt-free. Uncle Jake and I have dinner once a month. My parents send occasional texts that I leave on read. Emma sent one apology that felt more like self-pity. I don't feel guilty. They made their choices, and Uncle Jake simply made sure I got what was rightfully mine. Some people call it ruthless. I call it justice. Jake called a family meeting